This emptiness you feel, this void you're trying to seek from experiences, from people, from patterns. What if I told you it was already all within yourself? You just haven't discovered it yet because you're looking for everything except inside yourself. Everything except what needs to be heard from and discovered from. So, in this video, I will explain you guys why we never feel fulfilled, where it comes from, the psychological reasons, and how to become dependent on yourself only and not on others anymore. Because every time you rely on external achievements, on people, your sense of self worth comes when those people recognize you, gives you validation. And when it goes away, your sense of self worth, of self, goes away. Because now you feel like you don't know who you are anymore. Where is my validation? Where is my recognition? Where is my success? And you feel alone. You feel hopeless because you maybe even have everything you want in your life. You have achieved everything you want, but you still feel like there's something missing. And that is because there's something inside you that you haven't discovered, that you haven't made the work to understand what it is and how to heal it. And I'm talking from experience. So, let's talk about the problem. Why we never feel fulfilled. Why you might never feel fulfilled. So, most of us view fulfillment as something that comes from external achievements or from people. So, what do? We chase recognition, affection, success, the perfect version of ourselves. We're always grinding, and we believe we're hoping that it's gonna make this emptiness go away, that we're gonna fulfill what needs to be fulfilled inside of us, because that's actually what we have been taught. We have been taught ever since we're young that when we behave a certain way, when we act a certain way, when we're good at school, that wow, you're such a good person, you have this validation, this recognition. But we never have recognition and validation, and we never get taught how to rely on ourselves. Why do you think that? Because imagine if all of us knew how to only become dependent on ourselves, how powerful we would become, how a lot of addictions would end up, how a lot of patterns would stop that is convenient for a lot of people in the society, because these are the things that they can control us on. And I don't think everyone will agree with me on this, but I 100% believe in that and I stand by what I'm saying. So, every time we rely on something outside of ourselves, we become dependent on it. Instead of becoming dependent on ourselves, instead of giving ourselves what we need, this self love, this clarity. And after, when it goes away, when the recognition, the affection, the success goes away, what happens? Your sense of self goes away because now you don't know who you are. You don't know what to do. And you feel hopeless. You think there's something wrong within you. There's not something wrong within you. We just haven't been taught the right things to feel fulfilled by our own self rather than with others. Because as I said, we would become too powerful. Too powerful, and that is not something a lot of people want from us. So, the psychological reasons why it happens. As I said in the beginning, we were conditioned to believe that fulfillment most of the time only comes from outside. It depends who you grew up around, but most of us are taught that when we have good grades, when we do well at a sport, when we behave a certain way, we get this validation, this recognition. And don't get me wrong, I agree that these are good things. But what if we got told how to fulfill ourselves by ourselves, on our own? Wouldn't this be much better? Because when those things goes away, how do we feel after about ourselves? Most of the time when I had a period in my life when I have achieved everything my inner child wanted. Everything my inner child wanted to achieve for herself. And I still felt like there was something missing. Why? because there's a lot of parts of myself I haven't fulfilled, I haven't healed, I haven't taken away from limiting beliefs that were rooted into someone else's judgment situations. So the fulfillment you're seeking isn't gonna make you feel, it's gonna make you feel better for a few seconds, but the moment you do it to yourself, you start being there for yourself, after, all of those things are just gonna be a plus, a add-on, but it's not gonna be determining your sense of self-worth, your confidence, and how you feel about yourself, because this is the whole point of the video. So what does this learn? This makes the brain learns, I am worthy when others says I am. And then the cycle continues. Someone compliments you, someone validates you, you feel good, you feel happy. Then boom, you're back to yourself and you don't feel good. You feel like shit. So, the second thing is your nervous system. Nervous system treats validation like survival. When we get compliments, wins, attention, it gives us a dopamine hit. And so it feels good, but it's quick and it fades quickly. And then you crave it more, and it can even become an addiction. You start posting a lot on social media. If you might be looking good, you want to get a lot of comments. If someone might not comment, you might even believe that, oh my god, is there something with my hair, is there something with my face, is there something that I need to change, why didn't I get comments? You see how it makes us dependent on others, on everything else but ourselves. So the third thing, you never built emotional safety within yourself. Most people aren't taught how to regulate emotions, how to self soothe themselves, and how to even believe in their own worth and validate their own feelings. Why again? Because we would become too powerful and too dependent on ourselves instead of relying on others and them controlling us. The truth you haven't realized yet. Everything we are seeking from outside is something from inside, waiting to be discovered, known, heard from, and healed from. We just haven't learned the hidden codes, the hidden answers to how to heal them, to fulfill them, so that after we can start becoming dependent only on ourselves and never on external achievements or people anymore, and truly feel fulfilled because we have fulfilled the parts of us that needed to be heard from, that needed to be fulfilled from, and that needed to be understood. Let's talk about the solutions. What you should start doing. You need to start building inner validation. Instead of, do they accept me? Do I accept myself? And if you don't accept yourself, does it come from someone else's judgment or situation that have made you believe something about yourself that isn't yours, that is just a limiting belief from that comes from something else and from a situation? And is there a situation where you feel ashamed of yourself, where you feel like you don't have certain validation for yourself? And where is it coming from? Is it truly coming from you, or is it coming from someone that has bullied you, that has made fun of your appearance, or from your parents that when you grew up just told you how you were not a good kid, how you would never achieve certain things? So learn to understand, where is this lack of validation coming from? Maybe you even lacked the presence of a parent. This makes a kid really struggle after with their sense of self-worth. They have a lot of lack of direction. I struggle with this. They might seek validation because they will never understand, why weren't this parent there for me? They believe they're the problem, and it's normal because we were not supposed to grow up like that. We're supposed to grow up with two parents that loves us, that are there for us. But unfortunately, when we are born, we cannot really control what's going to happen to us, who are our parents. But the more you're going to be capable of understanding where this lack of validation, where this lack of sense of self-worth comes from, and you start gaining awareness, is going to be the moment you're going to be able to step by step heal it, because you will reprogram your limiting beliefs slow by slow, and you will understand your own patterns with time. So, create emotional safety with yourself. So, if you have made a mistake, if you keep going back to a toxic relationship, to toxic friendships, instead of judging yourself, I know you guys already know this isn't the thing to do, because you are all intelligent. You are all aware either way, even if you make bad patterns, because I was as well. It's just that sometimes we're in denial, we ignore it, and we don't want to face the consequences of our own actions. So instead of judging yourself, welcome yourself with compassion. Understand, why are you even accepting such treatment, and where is it coming from? Do you believe you'll never be able to find a good partner, to have friends that will truly authentically love you for who you are? Because I promise you, your people are out there, your partner is out there. You just put yourself in situations where it is not reflected back to you, because you're redoing patterns from your experiences that have made you believe a certain way that isn't how you truly believe. So, heal the patterns that make you feel unworthy. So, I know it's scary to understand we are not perfect, to see that we behave a certain way that we shouldn't, where your triggers are invitation to go deeper within yourself, and they will make you reach your potential self. Why? Because the more you will understand your triggers, the more you will gain awareness and you'll be able to stop them. I personally used to struggle with a lot of things, and I still do. I'm human, it's normal. But all of those things are partially healed, and I don't repeat them anymore, because I have gained awareness and I have sat down with myself, and I have understood, why am I doing this, and how to understand that I cannot continue like this anymore if I want to be around certain people. Because I used to act a certain way sometimes with people, and sometimes you have to change how you are. But this change is good. Change is good because after makes you cultivate better relationships, better situations. So yes, it is scary, but scary is good. Scary is change, and change is good. I will now give you guys some events that might make you understand certain triggers you have within yourself, and give you clarity about them and why you might do certain things. And of course, I cannot name all of the triggers, but it might give you a path of understanding towards yourself and your growth later on. So, the first thing is feeling judged. If you feel judged easily, this might come from school or family environments where mistakes were harshly criticized. So now you have this fear every time you go outside, every time you do certain things, you try to achieve certain things, that you have to be perfect. Mistakes are bad. And if you make mistakes, this is gonna after go play with your sense of self worth, with your validation, thinking that you probably don't deserve certain things, that you're not good enough. But this is not true. It only comes from your experiences and how you grew up that have made you believe this way. But believe me that we all make mistakes, and they are crucial for our growth, for our understanding of ourselves. And the more we try to control something, the more it's going to backfire every time, because we'll never be able to be perfect, to not make mistakes, to control everything. We can only control our own behavior, our own patterns, and our own mindset. The rest, we never know what can happen, and the more we're going to try to control it, the more anxiety it can give us. And what matters most is trying your best. Trying your best at everything you do, and whatever happens, happens. The second thing is getting defensive. So, if for you disagreement feels threatening, this might come from the fact that you want approval. You're in need for approval. You might have a fear of rejection and you might doubt your own voice. So, you think that if someone doesn't agree with you on something, they're rejecting you, they're not approving you, and yeah, most of the time this might come even from a lack of a parent, like from a parent that wasn't present in your life, because as we grew up, we're meant to have two parents raising us, and if we lack a mother or a dad personal needs, education, this is going to play a lot with our sense of self-worth, with our validation. And so after, sometimes when we might fight with people or we might argue on certain things, we automatically will believe that they're rejecting us, they're not approving of us, do this certain event. And it might come from even other events that I don't have in mind at the moment, but yeah. The third thing is going to be anger at minor inconvenience. So if in your past you had a lot of past frustration, you had a lot of unmet needs, this is going to be a way, it's going to be a deeper feeling of fear of being disrespected, of being powerless, and of being overlooked. So you're probably going to get angry at a lot of inconvenience because you think for a moment unconsciously it's going to make you feel more powerful. It's going to make you feel like you regained control because in the past you couldn't have control on how you had unmet needs and past frustration. So, as you guys can see, our triggers are invitations to go deeper into ourselves. They are not negative things. Anger, feeling scared of disagreement, getting defensive, feeling judged. It's things that I think a lot of us can feel. A lot of us struggle with. We just don't know where it comes from. So it's scary. It feels like why should I feel this way? Why am I not okay without it? But it's okay. They're only there to invite you to understand yourself, to understand your oneself and grow into how you can stop those patterns, into how you can heal what your inner child is trying to make you understand. And the third thing is going to be learn to listen to your own voice. I'm talking about your intuition, the real voice that isn't programmed with fears, insecurities, and limiting beliefs. What is this voice telling you when you do certain patterns? When you go to this toxic friend group, toxic relationships, when you judge yourself for making mistakes? What is this voice really deeply telling you deep down? So, this was the end of the video, my love. I really hope this video helped you understand that you'll never feel fulfilled completely if you don't bring that fulfillment to yourself within yourself. Because no amount of success, of validation, of recognition, of affection is gonna make you feel fulfilled if your inner child, if your sense of self feels doesn't feel worthy, is lacking from validation, and is struggling with things that they need to work on. So thank you, my loves. I hope this video helped you. And on that, I will see you in another video. I love you all so much. Bye bye.